Yes, the question we are going to address today is, what if there is not enough time for students to answer their questions during the school year? Does it hurt a student if we don't answer their question?
Hello, everybody. This is John Taylor from the ETHOS Innovation Center, Director of STEM Education. And today we have a very special guest, but first to introduce himself is...
I am Douglas Hunnings, and I am the Director of the Primary STEM Education here at ETHOS Innovation Center.
All right.
And today...
guest is...
I'm Sally Baltenheimer. I am a STEM educator with ETHOS Innovation Center.
And
we're so glad you joined us today, Sally. Thank you.
Yes, we are.
You're welcome.
And Sally, I guess you have a question for us.
Yes, the question we are going to address today is, what if there is not enough time for students to answer their questions during the school year? Does it hurt a student if we don't answer their question?
What a great question.
This was actually introduced by a student, a college student who's going to go into the education profession. So it's great to have this question and talk about this. And it's not, I think, unique to her. I think it's unique to a lot of people. So as we think about this, Sally, what's your take?
I think it would be a sign of success for you as a teacher if you felt like you didn't have enough time to answer all of your students' questions. Because if a student is asking questions, I feel like that shows that the student has taken ownership of their learning and they are excited and interested and curious. And if you as an educator can accomplish that attitude among your students, you have accomplished so much more than you would by just giving them a simple textbook answer.
Oh, yeah, I agree. You know, so many students, it's what we want. It is a skill to ask questions. I think a lot of times kids are just born with it and it gets repressed. It gets, you know, and we don't want that to happen. We want that to always be alive in them throughout life, you know, never stop asking questions. You know, and my perspective on this is I like to have questions that are not answered. I like the idea that you'd have so many questions on your wonder wall, wherever you're putting them, that the kids have, that we can guide them to questions that they're not going to answer in your class in that year, that they'll continue on with them. I think sometimes it's a little bit of a danger that we can give an answer to a question. For some kids, they will instinctively stop wondering on that point, even though there's so much more to wonder. So one of the fun things I always love to do is take a question that a kid has and then turn it around. And if I'm going to answer that, that's fine. If we're going to answer that, but always give them something more or something else to think about. They're like, huh. And then they might say, well, what is the answer? I don't know.
You're like, that's a great question. What do you think? I know when I taught sixth grade, especially, I would like to answer a question with a question and it frustrated them, but it made them continue to think and want to try to figure out the answer to those questions. And then once they figured it out, they were so excited that they couldn't wait to come back and tell me, Mr. Hunnings, guess what? I have the answer. And I'm like, yes, I did my job.
Yeah, there's a lot of freedom for you as the teacher when you feel like, hey, I don't actually have to know everything. It's okay to like put some of the learning on your students and ask them to, you know, shoulder that learning and share it with you as well.
And I think it would help us teachers to feel less overwhelmed. Because I know I've talked with teachers and I've had it where you have this big wonder wall of questions, or maybe a whole bunch of questions in the notebook, and you feel as a teacher all that pressure of, you know, of the knowledge of all, you know, everything. Well, if you don't get to the questions, that's okay. The students can go out and discover on their own, or even the next year. So that should relieve some of the pressure from you as a teacher of, if I don't get to all those questions, that's okay. You're just encouraging the students to want to inquire more and have that inquiry mindset.
Yeah, I believe in the power of curiosity. I think that's a great life skill.
Definitely. And we're kind of changing our role then as a teacher, is that, you know, we are going to convey a lot of information, a lot of what the kids need to know, but it is a great opportunity where we can move alongside as a guide. And so the kids are stepping off on their own. And that's a great place to be. I do know you run into kids. They weren't in my neighborhood. My neighborhood did all types of crazy stuff. But there are a lot of kids today who don't know how to ask a question and aren't sure what to wonder, and is it okay to wonder? And we're providing a safe area for teachers that you don't have to know everything, but also a safe area for kids to want to explore and be able to ask questions, and that their questions are valid, and it's important to have those.
Yeah, maybe Google has taken away our ability to ask questions and not find answers.
Yes.
Maybe Google makes it better for us to ask questions, but worse because you think you have to have an answer then. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder.
Both
That's good
ways.
for us to be subjective, that's for sure. Awesome. Great question.
That was a great question. And thank you, Sally, for joining us in today's episode and bringing that awesome
You're
question.
welcome.
Remind
All right, everyone.
everybody, at the bottom, there's a contact us. If you have more questions, send them out to us. We'd love to discuss them. And if you've got specific questions for Sally, we can bring her back here and keep going with these. Awesome. Thank you very
We'll
much.
see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
ETHOS offers the Inquiry Zone professional development to schools. Helping to ensure a robust, fun, and cross-curricular approach to science is supported in all grades. Please contact us at contact@ethosinc.org.